In this video, I'd like to show you how to do a many-to-many relationships with the Glide app. So basically, a many-to-many relationships mean that you have two items, and the first items. So here, the first item has many of these second items, and the second item has also many of the first items. So this is many-to-many relationship. This tutorial will be based on this application called NoCount that Glide app. The Joy No Count is basically an application for sharing expenses. So each no count is a group of expenses for a group of people. And so each people may be or may have several no counts, and each no count has several people. So let's look at what it looks like in the databases. So here I have a table of no count, and here I have a table of users. So the question then is how to to fill out this information so that eventually for each user here I have the list of no count. So the true list of no count is not just an ID and the users. So the key for building something like that is to create a third table called, anyway, you call it as you want, but I think it's easier to keep the name of the two tables that you want to bind and add like two or a dot or anything like that. So it's no count to users. And this is the table that you will fill when you want to add new user to new no count and so forth. So basically here, if you want for one count to get all the users, what you have to do is to build first a relationship between this no count, this row, and all the no count to users, so that you get a list of not the user directly, but the no count to users. And don't forget to tick the match multiple in here. So here is you have one-to-many relationship because for one no count you have multiple no count to users. Then you can extract here with the lookup all the IDs that you want to find from this no count to users. So use user relations and then say, okay, I'm just extracting the user ID, so that eventually you have this list of user IDs and you can make another relation from this list and say that you want to look up for this user IDs in the user table, so that eventually here you do have the true list of users. It could be the same for some other categories. And if I go to the users, it's somehow the same. I have to bind them with the no count to users table. Here is the relationship. Here, because I want the no count and the user, I do a lookup over the no count to user to get the no count ID, and then eventually I get the no count in here. So this is basically how you do many-to-many relationships. With these relationships, sometimes you want to just display some value of it. Or I have some other here in the expenses. When you then have to do some other lookups, this is, I think this many-to-many relationship is not very easy to set up in Glide, and you have to build a lot of columns. But anyway, it works well, so that eventually in here, say here, this welcome screen is just a detailed screen for one user, and here indeed each inline list is based on these many-to-many relationships, so I can display only the values for the all logged in users. Same here for the account. It's here for, okay, this is another table anyway for the balance, and so on and so forth. And if I get here, this inline list is the same, it's a many-to-many relationships. So hopefully it will help you set up your application. If you have any question, please don't forget to ask them below, and I'll be happy to help you with.